Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video we will talk about food, beverage, gastronomy, culinary and gourmet tourism. So all these words are similar to each other. However, when we talk about food, we always talk about beverage, and gastronomy is when we connect food with the culture, and it is more modern word, and is for wine, and culinary is the art of cooking, and gourmet is more high and haute, or we can say the high level food experience. However, in case of tourism, we can use these terms interchangeably. So let's understand them. What are different definitions of food tourism? According to World Food Travel Association, this definition that is given that food tourism is the act of traveling for a taste of a place in order to get a sense of place. So from this, we can take that food tourism is just not sightseeing like in a normal travel, like in an ordinary travel, ordinary tourism experience when we experience or when we do sightseeing basically. Food tourism is more to it. We also taste a place, we also taste the local cuisines. We also have Indian organization, that is India Food Tourism Organization, and they have defined food tourism, as an activity of traveling in order to find great food and related culinary activities. So it can be a simple act of tasting local food in a new destination or learning to cook a new dish. Other activities like wine tasting, tea tasting, farm trips also falls in this category. And there's one more definition by these researchers, Hall and Sharples. So they have defined food tourism as visitation to primary and secondary food producers, food festivals, restaurants, specific locations for which food tasting or experiencing the attributes of specialist food production region are the primary motivating factor for travel. Now, according to this definition, they are talking about the motivation that a person has for visiting food festival, restaurants, locations that are where they can taste or experience the food and its attributes. Now they have also used both the words primary and secondary, primary food products and secondary food products. So from these definition we can understand that everything that is related to food, when we traveling to experience food, when we traveling to taste food, when we traveling to learn about food, food making, food production, then that is food tourism. A food tourist is someone knowledgeable without young children, financially comfortable and keen to engage in food related activities and pursuits. So this is the definition given by this researcher. So from this definition we can understand that food tourist is more financially comfortable. So a food tourist l- uses a lot of his finances on food activities. He has knowledge of foods. We Food tourism is part of cultural tourism because food is part of culture. What we eat, what we how we live, how we what is our lifestyle, that is culture. In fact, UNESCO's intangible cultural world heritage that is still living, that is living heritage. These are intangible cultural heritage or defined by UNESCO. They have included food culture also as intangible cultural heritage, in which we have like uh, in Turkey we have coffee culture and coffee and tea culture. So different food cultures that are there involved are also listed in intangible cultural heritage. However, from India, there's no food culture that is listed in intangible cultural heritage. We have other 13 intangible cultural heritage listed in UNESCO from India. But yet we have not included our food culture in UNESCO's list. So food is part of culture and food tourism is part of food cultural tourism. We are experiencing the cultural activities. So this is an experiential tourism activity. This is not the traditional, the conventional tourism where we only see the places, where we only see. It's about experiencing something. So it is an experiential tourism activities. It is new form of tourism, and Here we have different food festivals from around the world. We have Melbourne Food and Wine Festivals that pulls attendees over this much attendees. This Melbourne is a huge. In Melbourne we have Melbourne Food and Wine Festival in Australia that attracts huge number of people. We have Pahias Festival in Philippines, so this is also a very vibrant festival. Philippines, we have Savor in Singapore, we have in Spain La Tomatina, we have Maine Lobster Festival, and we have San Francisco Street Food Festivals. So these are six very famous food festivals around the world that are related to food. As we learned that food tourism is something when we are visiting food places where there's food, places where there's festivals of food, conferences of food, exhibitions of food, talking about UNWTO and their definition. So the Committee on Tourism and Competitiveness, CTC, has defined gastronomy tourism as a type of tourism activity which is characterized by visitors' experience linked with food and related products and activities while traveling along with. So here they have included these words: authentic, so it is not something staged, it is real, authentic. So traditional, also something conventional, something full of traditions, and innovative, that has something new in it, culinary experiences that make a gastronomy tourism. So it may involve activities such as visiting local producers, participating in food festivals, and attending cooking classes. So that is gastronomy tourism. As here you can see in the image, we have Onam Sadhya. So it's a feast in Kerala. So it's authentic, it is traditional, so it is indigenous to the place. So visiting such, having such experiences is food tourism, is gastronomy tourism. And we also use term wine tourism or eno-tourism. So it is a subtype of gastronomy tourism where we are involved in visiting vineyards, we are visiting wineries, we are tasting or consuming wines, and that is wine tourism, or we can say eno-tourism. I hope you understand these terms, food tourism, because this, it's a new form of tourism, and it has a lot of potential. People people invest, people, a lot of tourist uses a lot of finances on food products, and it is sustainable also, sustainable form of tourism where we are visiting local culture, we are understanding, we are learning different cultures, their food habits. So it is new form of tourism, it is cultural form of tourism, it is sustainable form of tourism, it is alternate form of tourism, and it has huge potential. There's a lot of industry and trade members who are involved in food activities, food tourism activities. As here I talked about World Food Travel Association and India Food Tourism organizations. So these are such organizations which are involved in creating this food tourism market. They are organizing symposiums, workshops, exhibitions. They are involved in researches on this topic of food tourism, because food is everywhere and there's cuisine, there's food heritage, there's culture, food culture. So it has huge potential in tourism market, and a lot of people are interested in visiting food and experiencing food. So that's the end of video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned to our channel, keep watching our videos. Have a great day.